A lot of that magic damage.
They knew what they wanted. Oh. And what they wanted was
my
Huskar.
lord. I was going to say, Huskar and Oracle's a thing, but I mean, technically Huskar Warlock, that's a lot of heal, and that is kind of an all-in play right there. That is ballsy.
And the OD would have actually matched up against the Underlord, but Huskar matches up against him as well. When it comes to that laning phase, you have that really big advantageous 1v1.
Hasn't been picked yet, but it has been banned once, so it didn't go on our picked and banned list. But it definitely comes off that list now. Has it swayed?
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Our analysts, because this is the moment of truth, boys. This is your moment to shine. And I'm hearing that production are going to try and help you both.
I know what I'm saying, actually.
Okay, all right.
You know what you're saying, so regardless of what I say?
I still want to hear what...
Okay, Shannon, go first.
You know, I'm going to go with my gut, which is very hopeful in nature. I think VP actually has a better lineup, but...
All right.
But I'm going to stick with VP.
Okay, so you're going to go...
Is that the same as you?
Okay, so just let me be clear. So
I can change.
Sunfan is going with Virtus.pro, okay? So can we get production to put these predictions up? So Sunfan goes with Virtus.pro. There we go.
Thank you.
Capitalist. I'm just production helping us. Just go along with it.
I am going Virtus.pro. I don't care if you went the same. I'm not gonna cop out here. I'm gonna stick with my gut. I'm gonna say Virtus.pro.
Okay. All right. So as you can see on the screen, both of the analysts have gone for Virtus.pro. We're covering all bases here. We don't want to favour one team. We don't want to curse anyone. So ladies and gentlemen, here is game number 3 with Toby What a Purge.
That whole panel is cursed, but we are blessed. Here for game 3, Liquid versus Virtus.pro. Let's just get into it. I want to stop this one, Kevin. We have ourselves a Huskar 5th pick. A Huskar 5th pick.
It's a hero that we've been talking about every time that we see an Oracle picked or a Dazzle picked. We're always like, but what about the Huskar? It's been just long enough that I think everyone's ready to see it once again.
It's on the other side, though. Oracle's on the other side.
I mean, their obvious tell was not there, right? I mean, what's the difference between an Oracle and a Warlock? Is there that much?
There's
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a couple.
Heals is all that matters, right? And a lot of damage, and a lot of damage that isn't really countered by Underlord. So I think the Huskar can definitely work well. It's just a hero that can be controlled, and I think against Terrorblade it's also kind of scary because TV does so much physical damage, and that's generally the solution against Huskar.
It's kind of funny though too, because I was kind of making a bit of a joke about it. So Terrorblade does a lot of physical damage, but Huskar almost kind of like when he's taking magical, he wants you to almost under him because his Berserker's Blood's going to kick in at that point. So Miracle normally runs low anyway. So while Rams might get a safety thing, GH. We get ourselves a Thief in the Night.
And now he has to dodge for 10 seconds.
He's got 4 seconds till TP.
It's true.
Unless Roger can catch him.
Yeah, they're going straight for him. He'll just run all the way back.
Where do you want to hide? Actually, he's clarity up.
I guess he's in this for the long run, guys.
He's here for the courier snipe is what he's here for. It'll take some time.
He'll roll back home eventually. It'll be fine. So it's a safe lane Underlord. That's going to be versus a Warlock Huskar. Not surprising at all. Very good dual lane. In some ways a lot better than an Oracle in the laning stage. Just because he'll be able to output a lot more heal towards Huskar. And he's just going to constantly put spears on Underlord and some Shadow Word too.
Yep. Keep Patra as low as you possibly can. Then the middle lane becomes one of these contagious lanes too. But Tumberman, as we mentioned in game 2, he goes high points up in Poison Sting. There's going to be a lot of harassment into the Death Prophet. I don't even know exactly how Death Prophet's meant to engage, because if you get level 2, which you're about to on the Tumberman, GH, wide ball.
Misread it. I think no one kind of baited him there. He looked like he was going to run back to safety, then he jukes him, and as soon as you dodge the Rolling Boulder, you're pretty much fine. I think it is interesting that they went for Oracle on VP's side, though.
Oh, there's your Gale. GH, this time, Rolling Boulder in. This time he'll connect on no one. Will body block him. No one's so slow. But Tumberman with that Sting, Spirit Siphon is making GH walk away. But Siphon's being burned and no one ticking down. Burning a lot of consumables already.
Yeah, gets quite a bit of the health left. Extremely slowed, but not very damaged, surprisingly, in that trade. But I think the Oracle was grabbed as the solution, possibly, against the Venomancer damage. I mean, there's so many fights in the early mid-game where they'd get Veno low, they would secure kill, or almost secure kill, and then people would just take out the poison damage. But now with Oracle, at least, they can drop Fate's Edict on whoever's taking the magic damage, and just keep them alive in these crucial moments. And I think it'll make a big difference in how farmed Veno is, since he just outputs so much magic damage.
Roger's on the run from Kuro. Warlock is currently soloing up the Sand King. We'll have a little bit of extra help come in, which is the Courier with items. Miracle is crushing this top lane. In fact, it's like the CS is just so good from both of these cores. The 9-8 on Ramses, and then the 8-8 over on Miracle. They're really controlling up the lanes hard, so Tide and Underlord are getting almost nothing.
Back on the safe lane, Tidehunters got quite a few mangoes, a lot of regen. Oracle naturally can't do very much. I mean, a fourth of his damage is just blocked right off the bat from Kraken Shell, so he'll be fine in his lane most likely.
Well, they're rolling bouldering again onto that mid lane. Gale's already being committed. It is that level 2, and using the illusion of GH, Matama gets a little bit longer to attack into no one. Gale and Poison Sting will not kill him. Just drop him low and then the salve once more. Curry's been working overtime in the mid lane.
He gales it, yep. Saw that coming. Walked way too close to the Veno there, and that's going to be able to break the salve. So now Death Prophet's heal is, he loses at least like 200 or 300 HP with that Gale. He's
burning so much money on consumables. Solo is burning a lot of life, harassing Mind Control out. Anchor Smash is back off cooldown, but Mind Control's not having any friends come to help him at all.
I mean, Liquid tried to tell us at TI that Veno is OP, but I think they're making the case again here. It's just, it's winning matchups. Oh, there's the Gale again.
Yeah, rolling boulder in. There should be first blood. No one underneath his own tower. Being brought down. Roger would have been there to help, but he was too busy moving up to the top lane to try and help out Pasha, because Miracle and Kuro have been adding so much pressure to this Underlord that VP are just being forced into this 2-1-2 kind of split.
Yeah, the Huskar pick just kind of ruined everything for VP. They thought that they had banned all of the heroes that win these 1v1 matchups kind of thing, but apparently not. Veno is still extremely strong at trading, and playing against a Huskar is a dangerous situation for a hero like Underlord.
Underlord's actually out of consumables now. Level 2 Shadow Words continue to be burned by Kuro into Pasha, and it's not a healthy position for this Underlord to be in, but like, there's only one courier. You can't bring out more consumables. Roger looking for a Burrow Strike into mid as Mataman held in position. They will find this kill. TP in from Kuro. That level 2 Shadow Word looking for a target. Cuts through the tree line to put it onto Roger, but with Spirit Siphon from no one. Rolling boulder. GH will come in for the double kick. He'll get a revenge kill onto the SK. Not quite certain that courier wants to be there. Is waiting for the Venomancer to arrive as GH only can't really help out. This is just Solo going to walk away from him.
He could just teleport, but I don't think he feels threatened at all. Nobody else is going to follow him this far, so they're just going to fight for bounties. That's it.
They're bringing friends. Roger's coming in, rolling boulder in from GH. He'll steal the bounty room, but Roger looking for the revenge. He's only got a level 1 Burrow Strike. He has to be slowed down with Ramses moving off the bottom lane. They'll pick up the Earth Spirit, a kick away. GH, all he does is waste time before his own death.
Really good rotation there from VP to read exactly what he was going to try to do, and with Terrible Age shifting over, super solid kill. Very even game. More kills for VP side, kind of reminiscent of the previous match, but in the meantime, Liquid always has that one hero top in last hits.
That's a double damage for no one with Spirit Siphon. Shadow Word, Restoration on Kuro, the miss! It's going to be there. Matama wants to fight, but it won't happen, as he did miss the Gale onto no one.
A little different skill build than last game too, kind of interesting. He's changing it up.
The 3-2 as opposed to the 2-3.
Kind of surprised he's not going the same pathway, but maybe he wants a lower cooldown on Gale. Ability to break the raindrops a little earlier, perhaps.
Potentially.
They would break raindrops at 3 points. Maybe that's why. But Roger's still sitting around looking like he wants to help, but I don't think he feels very confident right now. They've had so much trouble training against the Veno so far.
They've rotated their lanes once more. Miracle comes down to bottom lane. Mind Control is going to TP up to the top, so Pasha just cannot catch a break at all. And with Kuro on this top lane, Mind Control, Shadow Words, we had to easily sustain.
I mean, on VP's advantage, I think Solo had that great rotation mid gave him so much advantage, actually. He's 1-0-4, and he's level 4 at 6 minutes. That's a huge level advantage for the support that normally has to kind of struggle to get some levels. But on top of that, now he gets to start a pull. This is one of the best ways for supports to accelerate until fast level 6, and once he gets that, all these ganks are going to be a lot harder.
GH trying to play around with Roger. Or vice versa. GH is back under his shrine. Roger will only want to harass, that's all. GH actually TPing to the top lane. No stun.
That was really close, actually. Fraction more, he could have interrupted.
They don't have any aggressive vision. In fact, just one very defensive walker planted down. I think they actually saw it too. Kuro has a sentry ward.
Good creep positioning here on the VP side. They're looking to dive on Veno again. No boots for him, so if they do catch him, he could be out of trouble. Or in a lot of trouble, that is.
It's when Matumba's really wanting that level 6. Just having that 1 point up in Plague Ward. He doesn't need to have the Nova. Not as required for him, but he's got GH to help him out. So gank all you want, Roger. During nighttime, he cannot see the ES sitting behind the tower.
He does grab the Nova. Just wants as much damage as he can get right now. That's a good way to do it. Trying to pressure the VP safe lane though. Mind Control can kind of do whatever he wants with the backup power of Shadow Word, but for himself takes the damage, he hurts a lot more. Miracle kind of playing this ready to dive Huskar right now. He's got 4 points in Burning Spears. He's got Armlet ready as well. So if he can get on top of Pasha, it's a decent chance of getting the kill, but we'll just see a TP most likely.
I love the no boots.
Yeah.
Like I have life break to give distance, right?
That's true. The mini Blink Dagger, right?
There's still 3-4 of movement speed versus the 295, and he may want it as he has to outrun Roger. TP support is coming in right now. It's Kuro. Miracle will need to put that Shadow Word on top of him, and the Fatal Bonds. Potential turn to fight. Huskar, caught inside the pit. How much can you toggle? Not enough through this. Not when no one brings in such huge physical damage, but a Gale and Nova, VP, they get coded, but really, they're still surviving. The Fatal Bonds is making this very difficult to live. As all three of them, Pasha, Roger, and No One having their fates connected. It'll wear off now, so they're going to survive, but if that Huskar was a little bit stronger.
Man, Fatal Bonds and Veno, that's pretty terrifying in the mid game. Kuro was holding his skill points, but that was the right time to pick that up. Doesn't get any kills, but it kind of just shows the story of what's to come in these next couple fights.
Yep.
They land big Veno ultis, Gales, and right clicks, and they Fatal Bonds them all together. Everyone's dying on VP's side. But Oracle can save one. Who will he choose?
More than likely Ramses, unless Ramses can save himself. But No One brings that huge physical damage, and this is when the Huskar pickup doesn't look as great. Laning phase, sure, but that physical DPS of Virtus.pro is still very, very strong. Like, how much are you willing to sacrifice in order to get a great team fight off? Kuro needs his level 6 to get that to happen. He talked about Oracle being a full level now in front of him. The Warlock Rock and the Tidehunter Ravage is normally the biggest deterrent to stop Virtus.pro from fighting.
I think it'll be okay even if Warlock is delayed on 6, but VP's rotations here are set up to beat Mind Control. They gotta save the stun though, or he can TP.
Is this the same thing again? Like Mind Control into the trees?
This one's gonna be harder. If he can juke and TP.
Kraken Shell, sure. You just break free of everything you want to. There's so many heroes, like just 3 heroes chasing him into the tree lines. Roger does use the Burrow Strike, gets the kill.
Really wise play there, perfect. They stun too early, he gets out. No way for them to stop him. I mean, that's their only stun. I think it's just Sand King. Except for the potential Yules. You know, no one dodges a Gale in the mid lane here. Making Matumba Man look stupid.
Miracle's forcing out the bottom tower. DP support's coming in the form of the Oracle. Shadow Word's on Miracle, so he's getting a little bit more life. The Firestorm actually burning a lot, even though he's only got 2 points up in the Berserker's Blood.
Is actually huge this game. He just dispelled the Shadow Word from Warlock, and it's also going to work against the later Inner Vitality that Huskar is going to want to rely on, so could see some big impact from Warlock here.
GH, not only does he steal the bounty room from Pasha, he steals the Arcane from No One. No One looking to do something about it, but GH once again TP's out and goes to the top lane.
Trying after Mind Control finishes his wave and then everything's fine anyways.
Yeah. But his movement does get scattered out, so Virtus.pro, they were deep water before on the top lane. Yeah, solo. Well, he could actually heal himself up and survive. Miracle has to toggle from the tower.
Gonna be just fine with these 2 heals.
Fine. Relax, everybody.
Definitely hard to kill Oracle, but burning his ultimate at this stage is really beneficial. Not that VP necessarily has somebody they want to put it on. Obviously, it's wonderful with Death Prophet as a combo, but Miracle definitely wants to kill the tower, but not enough physical damage for now. A little hard for him to force these tower pushes, and as long as VP keeps defending them by killing the creep wave, then a delayed tower will be more time that Terrorblade can get online and finally become competitive with a Huskar.
Drums just arrived on Ramses. He'll need an extra helping hand if he wants to do something about Mind Control. Without Metamorphosis going into Anchor Smash, probably not the greatest thing either. Roger, don't get your courier killed. Actually took damage because the creeps were aggroed.
They were angry, but they didn't know what to attack, because Roger was hiding. Scan goes down by the dire side. They're spotting Miracle trying to wrap around. That was kind of how VP lost a lot of tempo last game when Liquid ended up rotating and diving under the tier 1. So
yeah, what they don't know about it is GH, however. The Gale's going to connect. No one wants to try and fight this one with the Spirit Scythe. He's got a lot of sustain. GH has to Rolling Boulder away. Exorcism burned by No One. And they will not be able to force down the tower at all.
It looked like a potential kill, but as soon as he pops ulti, Liquid knows to escape. They didn't overburn anything skill-wise, and they get a big advantage from this. That was huge plays, actually, from Liquid to disengage there. Wonder how much they make these plays off of previous game performances.
Mind Control's in trouble. He doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. 11-1 charges can give him some life in that mana, but he'll need more support. Kuro is here. There goes your Ravage, rolling ball, the Fatal Bonds together with the rock. The damage is going to be huge. Ramzes switches a lot of it out as he thunders GH, allowing him to have enough damage to kill off Mind Control. They're still connected, remember, into the trees. Roger in Viz, and actually with the Sandstorm, they already found the kill over on GH. Roger will burn. Solo's not in a healthy position either. That Golem moving underneath the tower allows him to continue to fight. Ramzes knows he has to keep retreating.
Miracle wants to keep fighting, but they'll hit the tower at least. I mean, Golem gives them a little bit of overwhelm power here.
Is he going to life break Ramzes? He's got the jump. He knows Ramzes no longer has Sunder, so you already start to stack up the burning spears. Jumping in further forward. Miracle. Oh, there's your reflection. There's a little bit of extra help. Miracle can toggle as well as have the one charges. Turns over all Solar. Curry's in the neighborhood as well, but it will back off, realizing that they're all dead on top lane.
He played that so well. Getting a bunch of attacks in the last moment, drops the life break to close the gap distance here. But Roger will be able to do the old Sandstorm and stand, but the tower's dying pretty fast.
Yep, no way to really stop it. Miracle could just tank through it all, and Roger's 1k strat won't work. Miracle's getting a lot stronger, moving into a Heaven's Halberd. You want to talk about a way to stop that physical damage to the Terrorblade, find the real one and disarm.
He's going a slightly different Huskar build. Buying treads first is kind of interesting, but overall attack speed and meaning more spears against your opponent is really what the goal is here. Because the more spears he drops on the Terrorblade, the better chance he can actually kill him in these clutch fights.
Well, someone's got to bring some dust into this fight.
He's going to steal all of his last hits and now walk away. Kind of an interesting game.
The Doberman's kept the pressure up on mid lane while all this has been going on. Really just focusing on finishing up that Veil of Discord, amplifying all this damage, which they want to start stacking up. Stack this up once you have Rock down, once you have Fatal Bonds available, Rolling Boulder, GH. Well, he'll complete the TP. Then you can turn your attention towards middle lane. Miracle is ready to come from behind.
Not really the hero they wanted to kill, so they don't commit anything to it just yet. And the creep wave is killed though. So now it's going to be up to VP to try to slow down the push.
They had no Ravage, but they saw Pasha. That Plague Ward just able to connect onto him, and Pasha.
God.
He was about to put the pit down, but
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's just so much damage right here. This is Huskar's prime territory. As long as he's backed up by his allies, as long as he doesn't get killed solo, Miracle's going to snowball this into a huge advantage.
With Armlet on, he has 2.2k. Like
Pretty good.
That's so much to get through.
He hits really hard, attacks fast. Evasion's coming up in one last hit, and there he's got it.
And they're moving into Roshan. This is something which Team Liquid must have. This is the enabler for the Huskar.
Another thing that's very simple for him to kill, Medallion as well, and that's going to be a pretty quick dead Roche. And with the Halberd finished, another solution against Terrorblade. It's going to be a long time till he gets magic immunity.
Yep. Virtus.pro smoked up. They won't be able to do anything really about this. They are way too late to join the fight. So Huskar just TPs down a bottom lane. No one reveals himself for a moment. Huskar actually moving up inside the fog of war. No one is not aware that Miracle is there, but has the movement speed with phase boots, can easily outrun that Huskar.
There's no threat either. Even if he gets a life break off, Yule's the Huskar starter TP and you get out.
Yep. Would have required Kuro to drop the ultimate to stop him. But he was taking time to get there too.
He might be able to even Yule's before he connects with the life break and then get out of there. GH is constantly going to the off lanes, trying to slow down these pushes. Definitely safer for him than any of their cores. Less value lost if he dies, so they're going to glyph, slow this down a little bit.
Does get caught, though. Roger finding that perfect time to reveal it. The kick is good from GH. No! Rolling Boulder, TP out the star! The damage, purifying flames from Solar. Stops a beautiful play, but still it's Virtus.pro. A tier 1 for tier 1 tower trade-off will now happen.
And he's already alive again. It doesn't have a TP though, but Liquid does get the tier 1, now pressuring tier 2. And this is very reminiscent of the previous game. Can VP catch up? Or Terrorblade's got a great KDA, 3-1 and 12. His net worth is solid, but it's not over here the Huskar solid.
Do they just go up? Like you're 16 minutes in, you have Ravage, you have Rock, you have Nova, you have kind of everything you want, even a double damage on Matumba. Yeah, they're going in. Look at Miracle. He wants a kill. He walks past the tower, body blocking out Virtus.pro.
He doesn't even want them close to him.
No.
And the fast Solar Crest on Tidehunter as well, making it so hard to kill Miracle.
They're going to pin him up. Have they got the extra help? Roger, Fire strikes forward. The stun won't connect. The Rock as well as Fatal Bonds. VP, they're connected once more. The Aegis Immortal has done its work. Miracle back to the World of the Living, looking for a good target, but they don't really have one. They want more distance. Miracle rooted up, forced in. He goes after Ramsey, dropping him down low. The Ravage finally from Mind Control comes out. Same with the Nova. All of VP are coded up, but no one from Liquid is really left alive to do anything about it. No one will have a double kill. Matumba, he just needs to get out of this one. Roger's so low, he should actually die. No, he won't. It's Poison Nova and Poison Sting. He's going to tick right now, 7 HP, and he survives through it. Virtus.pro lose nobody.
Amazing defense from them. I mean, it looked so good for Liquid going high ground there with the evasion, but they lowered Miracle's HP. He was maybe a bit too deep with his diving. And I think the crucial play was the silence from no one to delay the Ravage. The Ravage fell late, and it was, but it was all about delaying Mind Control's ability to save the Huskar. And by delaying that, it allowed them to win the fight.
Yeah, they really needed that sooner. Needed that Blink Dagger to really be on the Tidehunter. He went for a full Solar Crest before getting the Blink.
And it's a cool, really cool build if that push works out. And it was very close to working out. Once that tower falls, maybe they can get a solo kill somewhere. They knew Exorcism was on cooldown for a bit because previously no one had used it on the bot lane. So that was a great timing for Liquid to try to hit. But now they're going to have to pay the sins of buying these early pushing items.
Well, maybe not. No one sitting here in the mid lane. GH has an Invis Rune. They should know that no one is basically by himself until he walks underneath the one sentry ward that just timed out. It had only 2 seconds left on it, and GH walked over the top of it in the last 2 seconds. But they're coming again. That bottom tier 3 tower is so low. You don't have the Aegis Immortal this time around.
And very wisely, Roger again setting himself into position to cut the creep wave. They just want to delay this as long as possible, or at the least, if it goes slow, it's going to allow VP the ability to take the enemy tier 1 if this gets delayed. And right now there's only 4 heroes. Veno wants to shift over, he drops some wards, they're level 3, so they should be able to deal with some of the creep wave. And they're going for the high ground again.
Yeah, they're doing this jump. No Ravage available. The root is on the Huskar, trying to break him free. Again, this Fortune's End.
It's so good, this game.
It keeps turning off the Shadow Word. It keeps turning off even like that's why they're not trying to stack it anymore on Miracle with the Inner Vitality and Shadow Word.
And the Solar Crest. The Solar Crest active, all of these little buffs that are going on in Huskar, it's actually making his life really hard. I'm sure that's one of the reasons he's died so fast in the last couple engagements. You remove that heal, he's just a hero with an armlet, and that's a regular hero. He doesn't have lifesteal, so he's kind of all in on those regen things, and Liquid's going to be forced to play a slower game as a result of solo playing like this.
VP just came out to D-Ward.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So Liquid know where the vision advantage is. Hence, rotate to mid. Take out the tier 2 towers. That's what you normally do with the first Aegis of the Immortal, even though it is gone. They're restricting VP into their base. That's all they can do for now. Ramses continues to get big as well. Looking to get into the BKBs till he's ready to fight. In fact, now he has that exactly. And Huskar's a little bit off his. He'll get the farm off the top lane. So BKB for Miracle next engagement. #1 net worth are on the field. Still got a great combination out from Liquid, but that high ground defense from VP looks so stable. Now their core can stand under the cover of a Magic Immune.
Yeah, and once both of them are at that position, Death Prophet now turns from somebody that's a vulnerability to somebody that can be absolutely a big damage dealer. She goes for Max Health Spirit Siphon, very good against Huskar, very good against Tidehunter, until it gets dispelled at least, and she can just pop BKB and run in there and deal damage. There is still a decent amount of physical damage coming out of Liquid, especially from the Huskar, and once he finishes AC, it's even more so, but I think he'll be able to jump into this team fight and get a lot more done. I mean, maybe another big worry is still going to be Fatal Bonds, but BKBs are going to stop the magic damage dealt to at least 2 of their cores, which means that once it actually trickles over, it won't spread quite as heavily.
Yep.
So this is a good place for VP to be. They've got a gold advantage.
Oh, there's your root already on the Miracle. Fire Strike as well. He can't actually toggle out of this. GH has a rolling boulder himself away. Fortune's End will connect. But the rest of Liquid won out. Warlock won't be so lucky. The TP cancelled on Koro. Accepts his fate, and 2 heroes from Liquid without buyback. All they try to do is take that tier 2 tower on top.
And
And
again,
they end up losing.
just a little overconfidence from Liquid, feeling like they're riding the Huskar train, and they are, but this is like a typical KDA for a Huskar that's on the way to losing, 4-3-0. He's gotten some kills, but in these crucial moments where the team needs to group around him and do these pushes, they were a little outmaneuvered, and they didn't expect anticipate him dying so fast.
Just that vision advantage seems to be taken away from Liquid every time too. Like the 2 observer walls they planted on bottom, they got taken out by Virtus.pro in the same position as well.
Radiant's middle tower
So how
is
does
under
Liquid
attack.
continue to set up for these fights? You push the tier 2 tower, but the aggressive warding you never got down. That's what's on Kuro. He's got 2 obs and 2 sentries currently in the inventory, but he has nowhere to plant it.
That's part of the hard part, is that he has to sit behind Huskar to help make sure that he doesn't go down, but they can't necessarily just be confident around the heals and the inner vitality. Like, all it took was 1 stun there. Miracle's HP was very low, so maybe stay above 40% HP or whatever it was, but it's a tough position to be in, and to try to prevent VP from being able to walk around and de-ward and gank all they want, it would require Liquid on the other side of the map to actually make those kills themselves. But they don't really have the best heroes for it. It's basically Earth Spirit, or they'd have to commit Tidehunter to a Ravage, or Venomancer would have to chain burst, and that's not really how their team fights together. That's not really how their lineup works. So it's kind of a bit of a back foot position here, because Liquid did lose that high ground push.
Yep. We'll have to find a way around it. This will probably be a pretty damn good way. They got a Blink Dagger on GH, a Blink Dagger on Mind Control, and Kuro currently holding the smoke ready for a fight, but they don't want to have a big one just yet. Roshan may respawn in 1 second time, so we'll see just how quick it is. The Plague Ward will be in there for another 30 seconds, and Roshan will respawn in 2 minutes. So Liquid will have to wait to get the big man to have that Aegis and Cheese available for the next fights. But that's because if they can take it, VP are most definitely a formidable force,
Radiant's bottom
and they
tower
can
is
contest
under
it quite
attack.
strongly.
So they're finally grouping up themselves. Creep waves are in perfect positions. They've been pushing out bot lane with Terrorblade illusions, and it's finally their turn, other than the whole defending and taking the tier 2 top, to finally push and take a 5v5 against Liquid. And this is maybe another place where they could have a lot of benefit. If Miracle shows up when this fight's about to start, has a good initiation, this could be decent for Liquid, since they want a 5v5 as well. But I think VP's confident with these BKBs. They've got a Halberd on Underlord as well.
And they got the Blink Barra Strike initiation out. It went on the Venomancer, silenced up pretty quickly, but then again that Tide Ravage, 3 heroes caught. They're going on to no one. His BKB, you also have to protect him for the moment. Nova comes out, but so does the Rock. Space is created as Liquid fight underneath their own tower, and Virtus.pro Ramzes just man mows it up. Miracle is surviving through all of this. Where is the damage? Miracle, he takes 1. He's going after Pasha. He's looking for a 3rd. No one's the big one. GH holding him in position with the rock kick as the toggle begins for Miracle. Even a double damage rune spawning in the top river. VP make a right choice to get the hell out of there. However, Roger left behind as a rolling boulder. Okay, they won't even reach him to connect. The Urn Charge is sticking him down. Roger starts the TP base damage. It's there from the Golem. Kuro will find the kill. Venomancer was the sacrifice. And Team Liquid, Roshan is up in 27 seconds, but they're going down mid. No exorcism will be available for no one.
It was such a good initiation by VP, and they got the Veno kill, but the follow-up was that the BKBs were used, and they got Miracle kind of low. Oh, not good for
Solo. Out too far. The kick will connect. He needs a little bit more regeneration. The Sans is there. Rolling boulder forward. GH pulling himself back. As Miracle, not really that low on life right now. He needs to drop a little bit lower so he can attack faster. That bottom tier 3 tower is still licking its wounds, but they're sticking with the creep wave in mid. They don't want to bounce out. Ramzes looks for the fight. Already turns on the reflection. Miracle hitting himself pretty hard. Has the BKB available. Pushed away. GH trying to help him out with that kick. Miracle now BKB turns around. Goes after Solo. He will stand his ground with the damage into Ramzes. Ramzes. Miracle! He thunders over on mind control. Gives him back the life. Pasha wants to end this, and he'll do so. Everybody home. They got the kill they want. They ended Miracle. That's Sunder onto mind control. He offered himself to keep Ramzes in the fight.
Man, it is so fun to watch 2 heroes like Terrorblade Sentry fight each other to the death. So tense. They both practically have I can't die abilities, and ultimately they finally kill the Huskar. Took a lot of right clicks, and the big problem for Ramzes right now is he's just missing all the time. He does not have MKB. He cannot buy MKB right now. He's got Manta finally, so he can remove things like some of the mischance or disables or slows, but he just can't hit the Huskar right now, especially when BKB's used.
Roshan is alive. This will be a pivot point for the map for a while. As there's no way Virtus.pro want to give a second life to that Huskar, considering how many issues they're having to just bring him down at the moment. Small advantages, the BKB charges are wearing out quickly.
No kidding. Gonna be a little harder for Huskar as the game goes on, but he's picked up his Hyperstone now. The lifesteal perk at 15 doing a lot of work for him.
The observed walk from VP watches this happen very, very openly. Kuro has Rock coming back off cooldown as Roger, Epicenter. His timing couldn't be better right now. Epicenter looking to jump in. The Burrow Strike. No, he didn't get inside the pit. He was on the edge of the wall. No one will enter in. Miracle is the agency ball. The Rock is huge. The Ravage is better. But the BKBs protect Virtus.pro. They stand their ground and fight. Pasha, he'll give his life for this one, but Ramzes to no one. They are just way too big. The Viper coming in from GH. Kuro is on the run. Where is your big man? Huskar back to the world of the living. Now the Aegis Immortal is popped, but how much fire has he got left in him? Solo protecting himself. He can't find the damage until Miracle jumps over. They almost kill off Ramzes. They do kill off Ramzes. The burning spears do the work, but no one. He stands through the entire thing. The immortal hero for Virtus.pro. Thanks to the help of the Oracle, Team Liquid are wiped.
Not a good position for Liquid considering how close that fight was. They burned Aegis, I believe they burned Cheese as well, and they still couldn't outfight VP. Here's the replay.
So Roger, with this Burrow Strike, he just comes up a little bit short, but the pit...
A little bit of a misclick. He tried to get inside, but didn't click far enough. And then VP pops BKBs. They use the Metamorphosis, they use Exorcism, and they drop the Fatal Bonds and stuff, but VP just can't be affected by these disables on Liquid side until those BKBs end.
Yep. It's just this. That was the ineffective Ravage from Mind Control, and you can't blame him for it. You knew what was going to happen once we saw these BKBs arrive. So Virtus.pro, at the end of that fight, they've still been holding the advantage as far as gold and experience goes. Gold's bounced up a little bit, but the experience tells the story of the momentum of this game moving the way of Virtus.pro.
Yeah, it's been just such a hard-hitting game, though. Everyone jumps in, they brawl to the death, and it lasts like 20 seconds of heroes fighting other heroes with lifesteal. Definitely a lot more interesting than Pix and Rax's.
I'm wondering if this is going to be one of these games where Matumberman changes up his build. Normally he's gone for the 2 Plague Wards on Gale, but having the plus 7 seconds for Poison Nova and the 800 AoE building into Aghanim Scepter, this could coat and hurt.
I actually really agree with you here, because 7 more seconds means 7 more seconds that they have to last past BKB is used. So if he does go Ags and he's got it queued up, this thing's going to last for 23 whole seconds in a team fight. Maybe more with Ags. I think it goes, no, it doesn't go up duration anymore. Tons of damage, and then if he just drops that on all of the enemy heroes, eventually they're going to have to deal with that damage output. Because right now he's not having a good game, and they bought BKB so fast, and they lost that top push. He lost all the gold advantage from his early game, so that's what he's going to need to get back in the game.
Roger's preparing to fight up on top, while on bottom lane, Dire is scanning in the trees, expecting some level of defense to be mounted. But as the scan comes up with nothing and Pasha takes the tower, VP should be aware that things are brewing. The ultimate's not fully up. Rock is still on cooldown for 10 more seconds, as this time Liquid are getting into a position to have that aggressive ward. So they see no one. Pasha and Ramzes all running in. Mind Control, this is his moment to get that Ravage off before the BKBs. No one got his off in time. And the Rock with the Fatal Bond. Ramzes low, but he thunders GH is all the life back once more with the exorcism damage. Liquid cannot withstand this much power. They're on the run back out again. But this is 3 heroes from Liquid gone. They had the vision. They knew what they were getting into, but Virtus.pro come out victorious.
It's just way too hard for Huskar to fight through all these enemy heroes. I mean, they always get the initiation as well. It's always Huskar starts the team fight stunned. Ramzes able to get close, pop Metamorphosis, Manta, Conjure Image. They've got to deal with those. And then they also have to deal with the BKB Death Prophet, who's popping Exorcism, who can use Spirit Siphon shortly after the BKB ends. Yep. It's like impossible to armlet toggle. And to make things worse there, they just dropped the Oracle ulti on Terrorblade, the first person that Miracle tried to pick off.
Yep. Oracle's life is actually so easy for that now. Like, he's always going to protect the Terrorblade because the Aeon Disc on no one means that he's always going to be safe too.
And he just sits way far back. The first thing Solo buys, Blink Dagger. Look at his safety here. And he got a cast range perk at 15. He can stand so far away from his allies. As long as he doesn't get spotted and initiated on, he's going to be able to save at least one person. And Huskar's just falling off the hill right now.
Virtus.pro are just pushing all the lanes in too. So Team Liquid, I was wondering if VP would try and force the issue up to high ground. They don't have Metamorphosis, they don't have Exorcism, but Liquid also have none of their critical abilities. But they did back up instead. Keep the farm going, increase the advantage.
It's hard now though. Like, farm is a much more difficult thing for them to attain. They just can't solo gank, they can't create pressure unless they commit a lot of big ultimates. And if you're in that kind of a situation, how are you supposed to create space for your team to feel like you don't have to sit as 5 heroes to farm? Because VP has that big advantage right now. It's like the Sand King advantage, essentially.
Yep. I really don't know what the answer is for Team Liquid Virtus.pro, however, they know what they have to do. Lane pressure, keep it up, and do not lose any of their big heroes who have been getting more and more combinations. Interesting save mechanism now for Kuro. He's managed to pick up that Lotus Orb. Makes it a lot more difficult for Terrorblade to just sunder any target he wants to. So I'm interested to see what Liquid actually give him as options. Like, well, you can potentially sunder Mind Control when he jumps in, or breaks free of the silence. Is that what you're thinking?
It's really good against Sunder, but I think he's probably buying this because of the silence from Death Prophet. Because as these fights start on VP's terms, no one gets to approach, pops BKB, he drops a silence on a couple big heroes. And again, all the Warlock and the Earth Spirit and the Veno, they need to stand pretty close to the Huskar. And if you catch 2 or 3 heroes with a silence and it delays their reaction by 6 seconds, fight's over instantly. So between Lotus Orb and the potential Greaves on Tide that are coming up in a second, it's going to allow Liquid to much better time their team fight starts. But it's so hard as well because you want Huskar to be the one hitting buildings. Liquid wants to set a tempo by pushing with 5 while they hit towers. That's always going to give the initiation advantage on the defender, which is pretty much always going to be VP here.
Here comes Virtus.pro, the aggressor towards the tier 3 tower. The Assault Cuirass was just finished over on Miracle, so he'll have a little bit more survivability for all of his team under that heavy physical DPS of No One's Exorcism. But VP, they just bounce around the different lanes. No one, okay, Exorcism burn. He gets silenced up, but Tubman just trying to cause some problems. The kick flies forward. Ramsey's also burning Metamorphosis. They want to have this fight. The 2 BKB heroes at the front lines. The saving graces at the back. Solo and Roger. There's no way Liquid can really close the distance in on them. The kick flies through to connect on Solo. But it would cause too much trouble for Liquid to continue out that far. And the illusions of Terrorblade in the meantime are chipping away at the top tower, keeping them at bay. Miracle looks for a target. They're chasing out. The vision is there with the Observer and Sentry up on the hill, but the 3-man stance. They have to break free. The BKB is there. Ravage and Rock are pretty good, but not good enough. Mind Control just gets evaporated out. Roger's on the run. At least Miracle was able to stand thanks to Lotus Orb. Pushed around. The buyback comes in from the Titan, but there won't be one from the Huskar. The kick is awesome from GH, but Virtus.pro, so strong, so powerful. Moving forward once more, they get free of the upheaval thanks to the Yule Scepter on the Kuro. So VP with their movement speed back, make their way towards the tier 3 tower on bottom. The pit controls up Matama, nothing more to give. No way to really continue this fight. He has a buyback available. The Virtus.pro continue their push through. Ramses, a little bit greedy, takes the life from Pasha with the Sunder.
He's trading so much with Fatal Bonds as well as he takes damage, but they should be able to go high ground here. They've got no Exorcism, but they got 40 seconds until the big damage dealer Huskar comes back.
They force the buyback on Venomancer. Mind Control wants to look for a little bit more here. The Fatal Bonds is still over on Virtus.pro. That's a fresh one, but then they stand, they turn, they get the silence over, and the double burrow strike from Roger. He is a beast on this hero. Gets the perfect hit on the Venomancer. That's a dieback from him. Mind Control isolated. At least got Anchor Smash to reduce some of the damage, but when Rams in the back line, killing off the rest of Liquid, this may be it. They've lost too many. They've lost everybody. Team Liquid pushing up the daisies as Virtus.pro plant their flag inside the Liquid base. This place belongs to them.
And Liquid feels like they can hold on here. I thought maybe they'd call a good game, but they popped the glyph. Buyback from GH, and now Huskar's alive, but the last couple engagements, he's going straight in. Is this
straight to the front lines? He's after Ramsey. GH has to help out. The piss down once more. They're fighting. Miracle is so low. He doesn't have enough life. No, when Roger gets it done, that's it. That's GG. Virtus.pro advance to the grand final of the Bucharest Major. Team Liquid once again forced into that small area end of a major. 3rd position, tied.
They're going to be disappointed for sure, but man, did VP play amazing here. The early laning stage was definitely Liquid's show. The last pick, Huskar, gave them the huge lane win that they wanted, but their ability to defend against that high ground push and not make a mistake and lose the game right there is so impressive. And once they had done that, they clawed back straightforward. It wasn't easy, but every fight afterwards was completely in control of VP. Absolutely deserved this win.